The internet couldn't believe it. Colleen Ballinger, the YouTuber once loved for her goofy red lipstick Miranda sings character, was back in the headlines. But this time, it wasn't for a comeback tour or a new video. It was because of her reaction to a Taylor Swift song. In a video that spread across TikTok, Threads, and Reddit within hours, Colleen filmed herself listening to Cancelled from Taylor's latest album, The Life of a Showgirl. Midway through, her eyes started to well up. She whispered, "This song's about me." That one line was enough to set the internet on fire. People weren't laughing, they were cringing, because this wasn't just any emotional fan reaction. It was Colleen Ballinger, the same creator who had spent the past few years being accused of serious misconduct, crying to a song about being misunderstood and cancelled. And once that clip spread, the internet decided to remind her exactly why she was trending again. But before we get into the chaos that followed, let's rewind. Because to understand this backlash, you need to remember how Colleen got here in the first place. There was a time when Colleen Ballinger could do no wrong. She was the queen of quirky YouTube humor, touring the world as Miranda sings, starring in her own Netflix series, and even performing on Broadway. Families adored her. Kids looked up to her. She was part of the YouTube golden era. But behind the funny skits and ukulele songs, fans started noticing something off. Former viewers began sharing stories about uncomfortable interactions, private messages, inappropriate jokes, and crossed boundaries that blurred the line between influencer and fan. And soon, those stories became headlines. Then came what might be one of the strangest apologies in YouTube history. Instead of addressing the accusations head-on, Colleen picked up a ukulele and sang her response in a song she titled "Toxic Gossip Train." She called the rumors exaggerated, joked about the situation, and treated the whole controversy like a punchline. The reaction was brutal. People weren't laughing. They were furious. That video didn't save her career. It buried it. Her tour dates were canceled, sponsors pulled away, and fans felt betrayed by someone they had grown up watching. So when she suddenly appeared on camera again, crying to a Taylor Swift song called Cancelled, people saw it as history repeating itself. Cancelled wasn't supposed to be controversial. Taylor Swift wrote it as a biting commentary on fame, how the public can turn on you overnight, and how surviving that storm shows who your real friends are. It's filled with clever metaphors about image, power, and the price of celebrity. Lyrics like, "Did you girl boss too close to the sun?" and "They stood by me before my exoneration" hit hard for anyone who's ever faced public backlash. But the song wasn't meant to defend real wrongdoing. It was more about perception and resilience. That's what made Colleen's reaction so strange. In her video, she joked, "This song's about me," then laughed nervously and fought back tears. To her, it was relatable. To the internet, it was offensive. Because while Taylor's lyrics described unfair judgment, Colleen's past wasn't about rumors. It was about behavior that crossed the line. Her emotional reaction felt less like reflection and more like self-pity. And for an audience that had already lost trust in her, that moment reopened old wounds. And once the clip hit social media, the response was instant and absolutely ruthless. Within hours, the internet exploded. Reddit threads filled up with posts calling the video unbelievable. TikTok users stitched the clip with reactions ranging from laughter to disgust. X, formerly Twitter, turned it into a meme. One user wrote, "You're not canceled, you need jail." Another said, "This song's about you? No, ma'am. This song's about accountability." People compared her to other controversial creators like Shane Dawson and Ned Fulmer, saying, "She's the target audience for this song." Others mocked her for tearing up to a track that, in their words, was the least cryable song on the album. And just like that, the internet's collective memory of the toxic gossip train resurfaced. The side smiles, the defensive tone, the "I'm the victim" energy, everything about the cancelled reaction reminded viewers why they had stopped watching her in the first place. Even casual fans who hadn't followed the drama said the video felt performative and insincere. It wasn't just about Taylor Swift anymore. It was about what Colleen represented. And the irony of it all made things even worse. Because the more people watched, the clearer it became that Colleen's reaction wasn't just cringe, it was symbolic. The irony was almost cinematic. A woman once accused of exploiting her audience emotionally was now crying on camera to a song about being unfairly judged. It was the perfect storm of tone deafness and timing, the kind of viral moment the internet can't resist. To many, this wasn't an innocent reaction. It was an attempt to reframe the narrative. Colleen, positioning herself as the misunderstood victim, echoed the same mistake she made with the toxic gossip train, doubling down instead of reflecting. And in a weird way, this is why the clip spread so fast. It tapped into something bigger, the ongoing fascination with cancel culture, redemption, and who actually deserves a second chance. People don't just watch these creators for entertainment anymore. They watch to see if they've changed. The sad part? Moments like this prove how easy it is to fall back into the same patterns, chasing relatability instead of accountability. And while Taylor Swift's song may have been about surviving public scrutiny, Colleen's interpretation turned it into something else entirely, a reminder of just how fragile her public image still is. Since the toxic gossip train fallout, Colleen has quietly returned to YouTube. She vlogs about motherhood, daily life, and family moments. But her audience isn't the same. The views are lower, the comments are cautious, and the spark that once made her one of YouTube's biggest stars is gone. This canceled reaction video was supposed to be just another upload, maybe even a light-hearted moment. Instead, it reignited everything she'd been trying to bury. For many, it was proof that she still hasn't understood why people lost trust in her to begin with. Some viewers even speculated she thought no one would notice. But on the internet, nothing goes unseen, especially when your name carries controversy. Every tear, every nervous laugh, every frame became another meme, another punchline, another reason for people to say, "She still doesn't get it." But this story isn't just about Colleen. It's about how the internet treats people who fall from grace, and why some never seem to recover. There's something complicated about cancel culture. We say we want accountability, but we also crave spectacle. We watch people fall, dissect their apologies, and debate whether they deserve forgiveness, all while knowing that public outrage keeps the clicks coming. Colleen's reaction became another chapter in that ongoing cycle. People weren't just mad because of her tears. They were reacting to what those tears represented. To them, she wasn't showing remorse. She was showing self-pity. And the truth is, once you've broken that trust, it's almost impossible to earn it back. The internet doesn't easily forget, especially when your first apology came with a ukulele. Still, her story forces a bigger question. How do we decide who gets redemption? Is it about time passing, public opinion, or actual change? Because as much as the world loves to cancel, it also loves a comeback. And that brings us to the heart of the issue. At its core, this wasn't about a Taylor Swift song. It was about the collision between accountability and attention, two forces that define online fame. For years, Colleen has lived somewhere in between, trying to rebuild while still clinging to the audience that made her famous. But every time she posts something that touches her past, it backfires. Because until she takes full responsibility for what happened, without jokes, without music, without victimhood, people won't see healing. They'll see manipulation. Maybe that's the tragedy of internet fame. Once your name becomes tied to controversy, even the smallest misstep becomes front-page drama. And maybe that's why her crying video hit such a nerve. It wasn't about emotion, it was about recognition. Because in the end, the internet doesn't just want to see a comeback, it wants to see accountability. And sometimes, the loudest apology isn't a song or a vlog or a tear on camera, it's silence. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss the next upload. And don't forget to drop a like and share your thoughts in the comments. It helps the channel grow and lets me know what stories you want covered next.